Hey everyone, it's Nicholas Wilton in Art to Life, and today I want to talk to you about listening to your heart instead of your head. It's particularly around things like limiting beliefs around what's possible for you. You get this imposter feeling when you're making your work. I'm not actually an artist, or I can never get my work to a certain level, or I'm just a hobbyist. And these thoughts that run counter to how excited you are about making your work or what you really want to do within yourself. And so I just have a few ways to think about this when I get this feeling. But first, I wanted to share with you kind of this cool story where I first had this amazing realization, and it had to do with getting into art school. I really wanted to go to art school, and I really wanted to make art, and I didn't know how to draw. I had never taken drawing classes before, and I believed, and actually this is pretty common, people think that you need to be able to draw realistically, and that's a measurement of some kind of talent or something, right? But I really believed that. And it was because I didn't know how to do that, I thought that I couldn't pursue my dream of doing art. I was just not very good at it, but I loved it. I loved it. So the kind of work I would make was I just made up stuff, and I found some of these. I would draw these really weird spaceship things. They're just all made up stuff. And I love bugs and plants, and I just made up these things, and kind of my own world. Anyway, flash forward, my father was in advertising, and he knew the head of Art Center College of Design, and so we got to go and have an interview with him, and I brought my portfolio with me, and I was really nervous because I really believed that I couldn't get in because I didn't know how to draw. And we went, and I remember like it was yesterday, I showed him my work, and they were talking and were looking at it, and I said at one point to the head of the school, I'm not very good at drawing. I don't know how to draw. Like, I can't draw from the model, and it was all in my head. And the head of the school looked at me and he goes, "Oh, drawing. We can teach anybody to draw. Like, anybody can learn to draw, but we can't teach you to be creative. We can't teach you to do this." And it was so cool, and it really stuck with me. And I just think that because this kind of stuff, and it's more personal, it's more from ourselves, it's more expression of our own creativity. It's like what we make. And that takes time to develop and learn and pay attention to. So that was a beginning for me of accepting that I could do this. And I went on and I went to art school, and I loved it. And, but so that's just an example of sometimes how we think about things can really limit us, and then when we can shift our thinking, the world becomes possible. One of the things I think about, a couple ideas I think about that's really helpful when I'm feeling less confident, that all I know is, and all you have to remember is that there's 7.5 billion people on the earth, and they're all different, and you're one of them. I mean, they're all different, and if you can pay attention to that and dive into that, like, nobody's the same. All you have to do is make work that feels like you, and it's automatically going to be unique and different. Now, not all 7.5 billion people make art, so it's not that competitive, but I think there's also 100 million people born every year, so there's 100 more people. So theoretically, we're getting more original the longer we live, because there's more and more people, and we're more and more different because there's so many people. So just remember that's, we know this for a fact. We can feel it when we go out in the world, where nobody can make your work in the particular way that you do. The other point is that, and it relates to that story, all art is learned, period. It's a learned thing. I don't know why we consider this area of study unlike other areas, but there's so much baggage around supposedly being gifted and having to be able to do this really well coming out of the gate. it's learned. So you don't want to confuse your capacity for, your capability of this for talent. It just takes time, and over time you're going to improve at this. And that's just how you learn. Learning is that you start with something that you're not very good at, and you do it, and you do it again, you do it again, you do it again, and that's how you improve. And you're in the process. Art making is a process of change and improvement. And thirdly, and I've talked about this a lot, I don't really believe so much in talent anymore, because after 25 years of teaching people art, I've never met somebody who can't do this if they're interested. And I think there's anomalies. Mozart, 3 years old, was standing on the piano bench and playing amazing music. But for most of us, it isn't a talent thing. It's an interest thing. It's a passion thing. It's a thing where if you pay attention to yourself, you can make really extraordinary personal work. And that's just really important to remember. And it's one of the biggest things that I teach, because I know if people get that, then they can their work can just take off. It's just extraordinary once someone really understands that. So anyway, those are a few of the thoughts that I use as a workaround when I'm, it brings me back into my abilities and what's possible for me. So let me know in the comments your thoughts about this, and what were some of the limiting thoughts that you had and how you overcame them, because there's a bunch of them. And anyway, thanks for being here. Oh, and I just want to close out. Today is my younger daughter's, Hannah's, birthday today, and I just want to wish you a happy birthday. All right, thanks.